Hello, my name is Miroslava Montes de Oca. I am an occupational therapist at Union Community Health Center. And today I'll briefly be discussing medical issues and conditions that may affect child performance in school-related activities. Attention deficit disorder, ADD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, known as ADHD, and third, developmental coordination disorder, known as DCD. Attention problems are one of the core symptoms of attention deficit disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a prevalent neurodevelopmental disorder that is characterized by challenges in attention, hyperactivity, or impulsive behavior. It's usually diagnosed in school-aged children. ADHD is more commonly diagnosed in boys than girls and almost 3 times as common. It is often accompanied by some comorbidities, such as autism spectrum disorders and/or oppositional defiant disorders. Developmental coordination disorder, or DCD, is a neurodevelopmental condition characterized by poor motor proficiency that interferes with an individual's activities of daily living. DCD has been described as a hidden problem, with an estimated prevalence as high as 10% in school-aged children, and usually occurs 30 to 50% of children with ADHD. Movements of children with developmental coordination disorder are often described as clumsy and uncoordinated, and frequently leads to gross and fine motor performance difficulties. Difficulty with everyday activities that most of us take for granted, such as zipping a knapsack, using scissors, riding a bicycle, dressing, buttering a piece of bread, and even tying shoelaces. Other general difficulties commonly associated with DCD include poor fine and gross motor control, difficulties with speech fluency, abnormal muscle tone, referred to as hypo or hypertonia, and poor body awareness and gross motor sequencing. I'm going to discuss briefly identifying how ADD and ADHD might cause difficulties in class. Within the inattentive group, ADD, you might see characteristics like a lack of attention to detail, disorganized work and behavior, difficulty listening and concentrating, difficulty finishing tasks, and high distractibility. And these students tend to lose and forget things frequently. Now, within the hyperactivity impulsive group, ADHD, of systems, you might see a child that tends to fidget frequently, has difficulty sitting still, avoids leisurely play, talks excessively, and tend to have difficulty waiting their turn or frequently interrupting others without being socially aware of such behavior. I'm going to briefly discuss how DCD, developmental coordination disorder, might cause difficulties at school. In their early preschool years, children with DCD can present with problems such as slow, immature, and laborious handwriting, and difficulties in copying from the blackboard. Many children with DCD also report lower levels of enjoyment in free play activities, such as physical education classes or organized sports. Complications can be observed when children with DCD attempt to plan a motor task, when they try to organize their movements, when they perform a coordinated action, and when they adjust movements when demands change, such as moving fast to catch a ball. Children with developmental coordination disorder frequently withdraw from physical activities due to poor motor coordination and low perceived competency in sports, physical education classes, and during recess, while free play activities take place among peers. I will briefly discuss how there is support to help students with attention deficit disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and developmental coordination disorder in order for them to meet academic, social, and physical and developmental milestones. For children with ADD and ADHD, occupational physical therapy might involve remedial strategies that aim to improve a child's concentration while working with the child to rule out all possible contributing factors to their symptoms. Since sensory processing plays an important role on a child being able to focus and attend to tasks typically in an environment that will have varying amounts of visual and auditory stimulation, the OT and PT can work with the student, parent, and teacher to determine what the just right level of stimulus is needed to improve his or her ability to focus and to minimize distraction. As one of the most difficult things for the student with ADD and ADHD to do is to remain organized, an OT can help the child find organizational tools, techniques to help them meet this goal. This can reduce the child's frustration, their stress, and improve their self-esteem by giving them a sense of accomplishment. OTs can help students with ADD and ADHD find a systematic way to initiate tasks, advance, and problem solve to get to the point of task completion. Children with developmental coordination disorder can also benefit from written tasks being broken down into steps, as motor planning requires organization of how written tasks must be structured before the written assignment is executed. Aids such as writing templates or checklists can be provided to guide the student through this process successfully and without it feeling like an overwhelming task to complete. Prompt identification of children exhibiting signs and symptoms of ADD and ADHD and/or DCD by the teacher, by the physical education instructor, other educational staff members, or parents is the first step in finding the support and help that they need to help them overcome their academic and their physical challenges. In conclusion, I'd like to discuss when rehab services are needed. If a student is exhibiting any of these signs and symptoms discussed, and if they present an obstacle in child meeting their academic milestones, team meeting can be arranged with the school faculty and parents. Parent can then make an appointment for the child to be seen by a pediatrician to discuss concerns. And the pediatric MD can generate a referral for an OT or a PT evaluation and treatment if indicated, in addition to other health professionals. If an evaluation and treatment is indicated, other health professionals such as a neurodevelopmental psychologist can be involved in the process. If services cannot be provided at school, the child does have the option of receiving services in an outpatient clinic that offers after-school hours. Thank you.